Now, there is only really one place I can start tonight, okay? He's back. Well, he's never really been away, but it's official that Audley Harrison will fight on. He issued a statement through Eddie Hearn's Matchroom office yesterday that included, all I can say is I had a game plan and went into the ring to win. And I should have been allowed to carry on and ride out the rough patch, even if that meant I would have got KO'd. Strong and brave words, strong assertions. Anyway, I'm delighted to say that Audley joins me from his Los Angeles home now. Good afternoon, Audley.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Audley, how long after the fight did it take you to decide whether you were going to continue or stop?
Well, like straight away, like I said to the referee in the ring, I said, "Come on, ref, why did you stop that?" And he said, "Well, you weren't throwing no punches." And I was like, "Come on, ref, man, it's a world title fight." He said, "Well, you weren't throwing no punches." So I kind of had that kind of indignation kind of thing straight after. I felt like that. God, come on, man, I didn't get started. I should have been allowed to carry on.
But he dropped you for about 8 or so, and then he caught you again with another sort of 10 or so shots. So
yeah,
irrespective of you throwing punches, he had you trapped in the corner, and he caught you with a lot of punches.
He caught me clean in that third round. Like people say, "Oh, you only throw one punch," and I'm hearing this. You only throw one punch. I mean, the reality is my style. I am a counter puncher primarily, and I was trying to set David Hay up for my jab, trying to set him up. He's feinting and moving, I'm feinting and moving. Nobody threw punches in those.
Certainly in the first round, no one threw a punch in the first round at all.
The third round, he charges, he catches me the right, and I tried to hold him, which was a mistake, and he'd obviously worked on that, because normally I get away with that. I didn't get away with that. I get caught with a shot, go back to the ropes, I feel all right. He catches me with 3 or 4 clean punches. Yep. And so that stuns. I'm definitely stunned. And then obviously he hits me around the side of the head and puts me down. Yep. But when I got up, I heard the 8 count, let him come up. David charged me. All I could do was tuck. I never expected the referee to stop the fight. I thought he'll just break the action. And I could then try and get myself back in the fight. I'm obviously hurt. But to stop the fight at that point, when you consider what happened with Vitaly and Shannon Briggs
a few weeks earlier, yeah, okay.
When you think of it, it's not consistent. But so yeah, I was feeling beaten up just because I read the press and heard the Barry McGuigans and what other people had to say. But I was just like, you know what, forget them. I'm not focusing on them, because had I been knocked out, I would have had no excuses. I'm fighting for the championship of the world. Yeah, I started slow, which was part of the game plan. This talk about 3 minutes every round. You see how David came in great shape, and I didn't want David A coming in just thinking he can just charge me, and I think that worked. That he didn't just want to come in and charge me.
I appreciate that, but listen, the first one.
I can't think about retiring off that. Okay. So how long it take? I couldn't think about retiring off that performance, because I know I didn't give it my all. I didn't have an opportunity to give it my all.
Okay.
We'll talk. I've got something I want to give.
We'll talk about what you did in the first 2 rounds and the third round, but. Let me just tell you what I saw at the end, and then we'll talk about the start, the fight before he catches you. He catches you, he backs you up, he hits you, you go down, you beat the count by a second or 2, not by much. You get up, he catches you again, and I'm going to say now, hand on heart, if you could see me, that stoppage, in my opinion, was absolutely right, because I think Audley, and I know you said it there, even if he'd have knocked you out, I think at that point, the speed of the way he fights in those quick bursts, I think it was a great chance then of him knocking you out. I've got no problem with the stoppage. My problem is of your interpretation of what you did in the ring. I understand that you're not a slugger, and you said that in your statement. I understand you're not going to go out toe to toe. I understand that, and I understand that you were floating through. You were never going to throw 500 punches around. But I expected 20 jabs around from distance, even if it's just to touch his gloves, just to create the distance. So that's where you and I disagree on this one. Yeah.
Right. Well, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and make excuses. Am I happy about the way the fight manifested? No.
Of course not.
Did the game plan that I have work 100%? Obviously, no, it didn't.
Of course it didn't.
I was planning to go in. I actually expected David A to charge me from the first round, so I was kind of ready for him.
So had he charged you from the first round, it might have made you do maybe some more work, because it seemed to me that after about 2 minutes, you looked more confused than he did, because he was trying to work out why you weren't doing anything, and it looked like you were trying to work out why he wasn't doing anything, and I was trying to work out why neither of you were doing anything.
I tell you, Steve, you're a character.
Hey, listen, listen. Some of the people on the websites are blaming me for this fight.
I know.
For some,
I know.
Like I had something to do with it.
Hey, listen, I've gone onto my Facebook and Twitter, and there's like 100 messages, all negative, and then there's like a diamond. You know, I have to really dig out the diamonds. And for a little while, like I said, I went away. I went on holiday, locked myself away for a little bit. But then, you know, you come back and you face the people, and you know, I've got family. All my family's in England, and you know, they're taking a lot of stick. A lot of my friends are taking a lot of stick, and family's taking a lot of stick. So all I can do is apologise for that, because obviously I'm back over here in California now. I'm going on Facebook, seeing all these people slaughtering my name, and some of them just because I'm bored, and I'm not going to sit there and put my head in the sand. I'm giving it back to them, and then they're all like, you know, apologising and being absolute plums about it. But the reality is, like I said, I gave him my all in camp. I didn't come out there guns blazing. I never was going to, because he's not a Danny Williams type opponent. David's a very clever fighter, and he's looking to set traps. That's what I was trying to do. My definite game was to take the fight into the later rounds and to jump on him. I've done a lot of work working close and getting close to him, and it never came. Now people say, oh, he froze, he did, you know, he's a coward, he's a quitter. No, nothing to do with that at all. Like I said, I didn't get comfortable. David's sitting there fainting. I wasn't comfortable, but you work your way into it. Yeah, I got caught, but I think honestly I should have been allowed to carry on. So, you know, I'm at this point where, you know, this is your moment of destiny. You've come here, you've fallen, you've failed, you haven't done it. Well, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to sit there, think about retirement, or am I going to say, you know, Audley, man, you know, shit, you didn't do what you're supposed to have done, you know, but it's not the end of the world.
So, here's the next question, okay? How, you know, because by the way, you know, I never, you know, I'm not going to question your heart, and there's a lot of after-timers questioning your heart, and I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, you could have easily stayed on the floor when you went down the first time. You dragged yourself up to try and continue. So I'll take that. Listen, you tell me that's what's happening. I'm believing it. Let me ask you this: where do you go from here? How do you come back? Where do you come back? What are you doing in order to come back?
Well, like, you know, fortunately for me, like I said, this adversity thing, I've been through it many times before, and I'm probably going to go through it more times in my life. But my career, really, this is my last push in boxing, no doubt. You know, I'm 40 years old coming up. I'm not planning to be boxing at 41, 42. So next year, 2011, really is going to be a real push to see if I can get myself back into contention. And if I have a loss or if I have an injury, you know, pretty much that's it over. But I think where I'm at the moment is someone's going to make, you know, like, this is work off the first scenario. Someone's going to make the mistake of saying, Audley's done, let's have an easy win. So that's one option. Option number two, as of before the fight, and as of today, I'm still ranked number 2 in Europe. You know, Albersinovsky's fighting Dimitrenko the 4th. I'm sure once the board have their meeting next month and they just, you know, on the 8th, I'm surely going to be in line for the British Commonwealth somewhere along the line, because Chisora's fighting for the world title. I'm not sure if you have to give up your belt or not. So there's going to be some options. Obviously, snakes and ladders. I was at the top. Now I'm going to have to go back down the bottom. I had an opportunity to fight for the title. People said I didn't deserve it. And it ended up looking like it was a one-sided mismatch. And it does me an injustice to, like I said, to how hard I prepared and not getting an opportunity to fight my way back into the fight and get back into the fight. So it looks like I Audley threw one punch, took the fight for the money. So, you know, I have to live with that. I know the truth. And I believe an opportunity is going to present itself next year. And one thing I know before I walk away from boxing, these kind of fights, whatever it is coming up, I have to leave it all on the table, you know, and that's it. I have to walk away for myself, not for nobody else. It's for myself. I have to, because this fight, I feel frustrated because, you know, I didn't get going. I didn't get to punch out my heart. I'm in great shape. I've been training up in the mountains, and I stand up. My legs are a little wobbly, but I'm okay to carry on. And the referee stops. So I'm like, if you guys want to pay me out and you don't want me to get knocked out, I don't mind. If you saying I would have got knocked out, so be it. That's boxing. Yeah. You know, that's boxing. If I got carried out on a stretcher and I'm out cold, no excuses, that's boxing. That's what I would have preferred that happen. I would have been, because I know I would have fought my way back in the fight. You lose your inhibitions and you fight your way back in somehow, or you get knocked out. I mean, that's what. Then there'd be no excuses. Yeah. You know, he gave me every opportunity to try and make my way back. I'd have no excuses. But I do have that gripe to some degree, just because I did want to carry on.
Listen, Ald, I tell you what, I'm still amazed that you're upset about the referee not letting you continue, and I'll be in a bizarre way, and I'll probably get criticised for this. I can only praise you for wanting to continue, because there was no reason why you should have wanted to continue, and I thought you were a punch or two away from being knocked out. Listen, Ald, it's listen, doesn't matter what I say, I'm going to upset some people, aren't I, online and my listeners. But thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Hey, bud, look, anytime. Look, to the haters and the critics and the people who want to crucify me, fine. I don't mind. Keep crucifying me. I've had great nights in boxing. I've had bad nights in boxing. I'm happy with what I've achieved, getting myself back to this position from my injury, from prize fight, from the middle of nowhere. Okay, I didn't do myself justice. That's fair enough. People can say that, and they're right to say that. I didn't do myself justice. And so we move on. We have to move on, fight on, and stand up and find a way to see if I can leave boxing with my goals intact and achieved. And if I can't do that, like I said, it's better to die with dreams unfulfilled than to die with no dreams at all. And I've had dreams, lofty dreams, and I've achieved a lot of them. And I'm still going to give this one more shot before I give it up and move on to other things in my life.
I tell you what, Big Ord, mate. You know, some people might criticise you, but I tell you what, mate. You've got a solid set of gonads there, son. You are brave. You are brave for wanting to come back and enter a ring in Britain again. I've got to applaud you for that.
Well, all right, bud. Well,
I'm being honest. That's
me, man. That's me. And look, make no apologies.
That's why I like you.
That's me.
That's why I like you.
That's why I can come back on the phone. Like I said, that's why I can come back on the phone with you. I'm not hiding my head away in the sand.
You're not.
And when I come back to Britain, I just left Britain. And when I come back to Britain, I walk with my head proud because for who I am and what I represent and where I come from and how much I've turned my life around, I got nothing to be embarrassed about. I got nothing to be ashamed about. And don't worry about my life. My life is fine.
Listen,
you get me?
I don't worry about you. Oh, listen, we'll speak to you very soon. Have a good Christmas.
All right, bro. One love.
Audley, see him. Audley Harrison there, he never fails to reignite things. He wanted to continue. He was gone, in my opinion. That's what I said to him. He should have been stopped. It wasn't going to be stopped. We're always going to disagree on what actually happened until that point. But he will. I tell you what, I think they'll still go out. People online are not so sure.